We have Senator Galgiani, Senator Gaines, Senator Allen, and Senator Pavley, and Senator Huff. Thank you.
First
then
of
we'll
all,
try to have the public. We're going to open it up for the public.
I would like to add something for Senator Nielsen. Senator, with regard to going to Shafter, those of us in downtown Sacramento who work here, people in Elk Grove and Thomas, they drive to the Sacramento airport all the time. It's 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes away. We're talking about 22 miles. So individuals who want to take the train who are in Bakersfield to drive the 22 miles to Shafter, not a big deal. We all do it all the time. Secondly, I would like to say that in Bakersfield, they have resisted it. They haven't wanted it for a long time, from day one when we were going through the competition to get the money. My former assembly district in Merced, they wanted it so bad, and they were so upset when they did not get it that they named it the Train to Nowhere, because they had planned for, since 2001, they had planned with the committee. They wanted it so badly. So I would add that I believe that the money would be much better spent, instead of that 22 miles down all the way to Bakersfield, to bring it up north to Merced, where there are plans in place to bring the ACE system to meet in Merced. That would give us the Central Valley high-speed rail system connected up to Merced, connect with ACE, which connects with Caltrains already today, where you get off a train, an ACE train, you walk across a platform where you can see your Caltrain that you're boarding and get on the train right up the peninsula and to San Francisco. That's something that could be done also with the money that we have today, and those in the Central Valley who worked very hard would be rewarded for that work as well. Secondly, I would like to thank the authority for coming forward with a plan where we can do with the money that we have in hand today, that we can see something that will provide an operational segment. I think it's very important that the public sees that we are able to do something with the money we have today, so that it reduces this fear that we may not ever get there. I would like to also comment on independent utility, and Senator Roth and Senator Nielsen, you both commented on this. When the federal government went through the process with the High-Speed Rail Authority, and again, I was intimately involved because we were competing for the money in my assembly district, every segment along the way that they looked at tying into had to be able to tie back into the Amtrak system. So if the worst possible scenario happened and no more money were able to be spent, where we end up in Madera can connect into the Amtrak line, where riders can continue along Amtrak to Sacramento, and riders could also continue to Oakland along the Amtrak line. That's absolute worst case scenario. The federal government forced the high-speed rail to keep that money in savings to be able to tie into the Amtrak line as a security measure. Next, I would like to say a couple of things to the authority, and as you move forward with this plan, I would just like to remind everyone that there's nothing in Prop 1A that says that the line has to be fully operational, and I say that with caution because of all of the critics and what's been used with the lawsuit. Prop 1A says usable segments. It speaks of usable segments. Certainly I understand why we would all want operational utility and operational independence, because that allows for bringing the private sector funding forward to us. But to keep in mind that it's about usable segments that can be used, and it doesn't have to be fully operational. It's that money cannot be used to subsidize the system. That being said, if worst case scenario, we had the Central Valley up to Merced tying into ACE and tying into Caltrain, the San Joaquin rail system is prepared to take on management of that 8-county line, and I authored the legislation to allow that management authority to be taken away from Caltrans and be assumed locally, and there would be a pathway forward, I believe, for the authority and the San Joaquin Regional Rail Authority to work together so that utility could be obtained without an operating subsidy. finally, I would like to just remind everyone that with the ARA funding, they never said exactly where the money had to be spent. It was delegated to the authority to choose where the money would be spent, and the authority made the decision to spend it where they started and then continue from there. Worst case scenario, there's nothing in federal statute that says that the money that was given under ARA can't be used at the Y, which for those who don't know what the Y is, it's where the north-south route meets the east-west route toward San Jose. The money, there's nothing in statute that says it can't be spent on the Y, even though the Y isn't what's actually being worked on at this moment today. That would enable us to work toward San Jose. There's also nothing in statute that says we can't spend the money continuing up to Merced. So we have that flexibility to be able to use the money in other areas other than just discreetly what's exactly being worked on at this moment.